Alright, we're on hole number 6 of the Winter Major. Let's go check it out on Golf Clash Notebook. Alright, I got to play this hole a couple times. And once again, on any par 3, if you watch my videos, I don't like to mess around on these tournaments because I will tell you, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will happen to you in a tournament where you're growing along and everything's going just fine and you got to that par 3 that you were taking for granted and you ended up getting a par on it instead of a birdie because you were trying to do this shot here, or you were trying to do this shot here, or you were trying to do some weird stuff. And I want to take everything out of play except for this. I'm only looking at the green here. I like the fact that I got a landing area out here, and this landing area is flat. There's a hill right here. It goes down. There's moguls out here. There is a steep little, this looks like Daytona right here. It's so steep. Here you got to bounce over sand and water. I'm not interested in that at all. Now you can, and I did this shot several times, and I think the video I posted is of me coming out here with a sniper. And you don't have to apply a whole bunch of stuff. You can do a little bit of side spin and a little bit of backspin, but not a whole lot. And what you want is you want to just dribble out. The way that this green falls is, you know, the pin's right here, and so it kind of, a lot of these holes you hit back here and then everything kind of funnels towards the green. That doesn't happen here. Everything wants to funnel towards this area on the other side of the green. So if you hit it pretty much like drawing that line for the pin, you want to be up here just barely dribbling on, and it'll work its way towards the hole. You're going to see a lot more people come to this hole and their ball ends up missing it on the outside. You're going to see a lot more of those people than ones that miss it on the inside. So the ones that are missing it on the inside, they're dialing it in the other way, and really that's what you want. You want to be dialing it in, trying to get it this way, and pick a consistent spot out here for your second or third bounce. And this is probably you can work this shot because you don't have to do a lot. So if you've got underdeveloped clubs, you can come, but really when you're here, you don't want to be trying to do this. Okay, this is a racetrack hole. This isn't going to be a high percentage hole-in-one. People are going to get hole-in-ones on it just because they work the numbers. But try and pick a consistent spot. So you've got your blue ring up against this, or your orange ring, and so you're picking a consistent spot here. And then you can dial in that side spin, top spin, back spin, whatever it needs to be, so that you're just barely dribbling. Because if you ride across the top of it, you're going to end up way over here on the other side of the hole. You've got to be just barely dribbling onto the hole, and it'll fall down that hill and go towards it. I'm going to, on the other hand, go right at it, and I'm going to avoid all of that stuff. And I'm bringing a guardian, and I'm looking for the area in this where I'm trying to push it this direction to get as high up this hill as I can, so that I can start, because it's so steep right here, I can start and stop my backspin and get it to start off in that spot. So I'm working on trying to find this spot down here and get a ring set up so that I know, like, hey, if I wedge my ring up in this spot, that's where I want to start. And then I'm going to start doing the side spin, top spin, back spin adjustments to try and get it so that it keeps dialing it in closer to the hole. I want to avoid all this. I want to make sure I don't want any of this. I want to get my birdie and go home, and if I can dial it in and get close enough to get a hole-in-one, hey, more power to me. So we want to make sure that we have our Saturn. Oh, Guardian Saturn. I played this hole. I'm going to find out where our red line stuff is. I'm going to start off with a katana and see what happens. And I may have to up it to a kingmaker. I know I'm going to start on that side, but I need to see what the wind is, and we need to see where our ball's at so that we can adjust that. So we're on hole number 6. 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 8. It would like to be a minimum club. So there's a minimum club with a guardian, and we got a little bit of a tailwind. I'm going to switch this to a kingmaker. See where my red line is. Yeah, I like that a little better. I want to be right against that red line. Okay, so let's find a ring placement here. Let's put all the backspin on it and see what that looks like. See how high up that hill I can get and still stay on that flat. Okay, so we know I can come right into that area. See that little trough that comes down in there? And that's where those courses in the geometry here, where they're stitched together. And we want to be right there. Right there, you can see that little hollow where the shadow is. That's where the hill comes down, and that's at the bottom of that trough. And I want to be down there as far as I can so that I'm right in that trough area. You can see it's a little depression right there. See our opponent landed where they come up high and it rolls down. Everything wants to roll to the left of the cup. And you can see how the hill is here, how steep that hill is. So you got to catch it really early on. Okay, so we're going to do maximum backspin, and however much side spin we can still get in it. We want to land so that we're on the top of that hill. Alright, so that's a 3 wind. We're at minimum club. So it's 2 rings. I'm not making any special adjustments. I'm just trying a full ring adjustment and see what happens. Isn't it perfect? Alright, so with the backspin, if we're up on that hillside, we don't have to worry as much about it flowing down because it's going to change its direction. So we can work that number out. We can continue to work from that spot. I'll go back and find some reference point on that shot, and the next time I get on that hole, I know we're going to move it in on that spot. I'm going to move it in a ring and start working at that direction, 1 ring at a time, until I go past it, and then you know which ring you're working in. It's like the clock game, you can cut it in half. Alright, that was Maple Bay, hole 6, par 3. And that is an absolutely 100% guaranteed birdie. Thanks for watching.